Update 1.55 in Gran Turismo 7 has brought another round of physics changes, and this means that many of those money-making builds have been changed. They don't work anymore. The PPs are higher than they used to be, so we need to detune them, which means we can earn money a little bit less fast, except for this one. This is the Aston Martin DP-100, and it is a Vision Gran Turismo car which can absolutely dominate Tokyo Expressway World Touring Car 600. I have retuned this car since update 1.55 and I've made it even faster than it used to be. I'll have the full tune at the end of this video, but for now let's go and check out the World Touring Car 600. Head over to World Circuits, head over to Asia Oceania, and then head across to Tokyo Expressway. Continue across until you find the World Touring Car 600. If you don't have this race yet, then play through more of the menu books until this race is available to you. I'm going to run you through the strategy right now. The strategy for this race is actually very simple. We don't need to do anything other than a bit of short shifting, and that is just done by shifting gears a little bit earlier. You get much more performance in this car if you drive in full manual gears, and basically every 50 kilometers shift up. I'm going to put the shift points later on in this video, but right into turn one we can get all the way deep. 200 meter board is where we want to get on the brakes all the way down to third gear. Especially on lap 1, just show a little bit of caution and we're good to go through here. Now this car is incredibly good to drive, and the best thing about the car, it is so good on fuel efficiency. We will not be pitting once in this race. We do not even need to consider a pit stop, and the car has good grip flowing through here, especially once the track starts to dry out a little bit, especially lap 1. The wet track can be a bit of a problem. But this car still has very good grip, four-wheel drive as well, so we can get on the gas hard on corner exits, and it just really does rip. This car is so good. We're going to just drop a gear to go through this right-hander, and we're already closing in on the lead of this race. Trying to get the switch into the braking zone here, the 100 board into this right-hander, down to fourth gear. Could do third gear if you wanted to, but the car has so much torque. We've just been hit from the very impatient Susuilo there. Unexpected. Let's get on the flashers, give him a little bit of a hurry up, and just on the 200 board is where we're braking. Big dive bomb from actually being beaten up here in this race, but we're going to get it done. Big slide on corner exit. This car is pretty playful still. Four-wheel drive does give you that confidence to slide the car, and we're just going to just blow by all of these guys on the main straight because this car has so much power. So midway through lap number 2, I'm going to put a move on Gallo for the lead of this race. He's going to hang it on the outside still. We're going to just give him that position back. We don't need to be really forcing the issue too much. We do need to make sure we stick with the clean race bonus. So if we're going to send it on the brakes into the big hairpin, 200 board is where we want to get on the brakes all the way down to second gear. Now he's managed to go very deep and get that stopped, but it's not a problem. We can get him caught up on the straight because this car is way faster than his one. So we're going to get a bit of slipstream again, short shifting all the way here, and before the line on the second lap we're going to be into the lead of this race. Now, not needing to pit for tyres, not needing to pit for fuel, we're just going to do more of these laps and just get this race done. Opening with a 2:06.5, that's a very fast lap time. Got a bit of clear air now, and the track is mostly dry now, so I'm going to give you a rundown of a lap guide now. Short shifting the car is important, so you want to be short shifting the car. I think, let's just check the view, shifting around 6 to 6,500 RPM, and that is even before it even gets to the rev bar. Into turn 1, you're looking for the 200 meter board. Look for the dry line, hit the brakes at the 200 meter board, and then all the way down to third gear. Carry a bit of the brakes around the first corner, and then just cruise onto the throttle. The car will slide a little bit on corner X. If you really get on the gas hard, which is fantastic, he can catch it really quite easily in third gear. Short shifting all the way up to fifth gear for these two sequence of corners here. As you turn in, just let off and coast into the corner, feel the grip, and then get back on the gas. And then the same for the second part of the corner, coast into here, braking at the 100 board, down one gear into fourth, and then flowing through this S here. A little bit wide there actually, but not too bad really. Looking to brake just before the bridge, and then down into fourth gear to flow through here. Fourth gear gives you the rotation you need for these corners. Similarly on this corner here, fourth gear once again, flowing through here back up to fifth. Looking for the 100 board now as we go under the 100 board on the brakes. Fourth gear once again, a little bit of clip of the apex on the inside there. Fourth gear through this other left hand corner, on the gas as early as you can. Running down here, we want to be on the brakes just after or just about on the 200 meter board. This is an important corner because this is where you could lose your clean race bonus. Brake on the dry line down to second gear. Do not exceed track limits at this corner because this is a surefire way to lose clean race bonus. Now you can really get on the gas quite hard there. The car will slide and rotate. You can play there. You can even handbrake it if you're feeling really adventurous. But I would just recommend just cruising through that corner for the first few times you're driving this car, keeping it safe. And that's going to get across the line. It probably wasn't as good as my best lap, but this is going to cross the line in the 206. We've got 205s before, and I've had in a previous race a 204. So this car is so fast, and we're not even going to look at the pits once in this race. And there we have it on the very next lap without talking and jabbering away. That is a 204.6. So the shift points I like to use in this car is basically 150 kilometers an hour up to fourth, 200 kilometers an hour up to fifth, and then 250 kilometers an hour up to sixth. And I stay in sixth gear for all of the straights. You could shift to seventh at the end, but I don't think it makes very little difference at all. I will flash up on screen what those numbers will be in miles an hour, so you've got a reference point. But over time, oh gosh, that Porsche's run out of fuel it seems. Over time you will get to just hear what the revs are doing, what RPMs you need to shift at, and it becomes second nature, and you almost shift when you get to the appropriate points in the track. Okay, so finishing lap number 12 to complete this race. A couple of bad laps towards the end of the race in traffic was the biggest problem. I'm going to run to the line, slipstream in the car. We're a lap up on many of the cars in this race. I'm going to get across the line. I didn't actually catch the finishing time, but this car absolutely dominates. No pit stops required. And we're going to finish that race in 25 minutes and 24 seconds. And my fastest lap time is 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Now, considering that is a no pit stop strategy, that's a really fast lap time. And we do actually get the clean race bonus, 825,000 credits for 25.5 minutes work. That's all it takes. Now, the ways to ensure you keep your clean race bonus, guys, is to just do not exceed track limits in the last corner of the track. If you brake too deep and go over the white line, you will not receive your clean race bonus. Also, just be cautious when overtaking cars on the first few laps of this race, because any car contact while you're passing a car can also lose your clean race bonus. Here is the 600 pp tune for the Aston Martin DP-100. So everything in blue is changed from how you get the car from brand central. So I am using the sports hard tyres. They are the right tyres to use for this race. There is no tuning done to suspension or differential. They cannot be changed. It's a VGT car, so there's a bit of a limitation on how much we can actually change. I've got the fully customizable ECU set at 99. I've got 189 kilograms of ballast, and it's minus 41 ballast position, and the power restrictor is at 75. One thing to note is the power curve in this car, and this is the reason why we short shift the car. Is you can see the torque, the grey line on this graph ahead, it just drops off really badly, way beyond kind of 6,000 RPM. This is why we short shift the car. We use the torque of the car to really just pull the car along. And then the final thing to talk about is the brake balance. I set mine 5 to the rear because I find it just makes the car rotate a little bit when you're on the brakes. If you do want to improve the way you drive, then the best way to go about this is to learn how to use the brakes properly in any sim racing game. And I've got a video on screen right now which will teach you everything you need to know about braking in Gran Turismo 7. Go and check out that video, and I'll catch you in the next one.